welcome to another adventure with Tim and Christine.
How do you like their RV? First shot of the looking at the Columbia River from the Oregon side, and we're like 9 miles before we get to Multnomah Falls, and it's Multnomah Falls right there. Okay, Horsethief Lake next, right? We are headed to the campground at Columbia Hill State Park, which is on Horsethief Lake, a 90-acre impoundment lake that was flooded into existence when they built the Dalles Dam. So this is an update on our kayaking racks. Last time we put our kayaks on, we did them the other way around, with the bottom down. We're putting them with the bottom up this time. It's more streamlined, and that way if it rains, we won't get rain inside. We found out it's more difficult to load them this way. So we're just letting you know, that's an update. So what do you think, Tim?
Well, I don't know. Now the lash point is down.
Lower. Oh yeah.
And this is going to be
flopping on the top of the truck.
Yeah.
That's not a positive. There's a lot of variables to how you carry these. Well, we got the kayaks down, and we're ready to take them over and put them in the lake, and then the clouds rolled in and the wind started up.
Well, the wind's kind of coming up. Maybe we should just put the boats in the water and give it a try and see what happens.
Okay.
Always come back into shore and unload or pull the boats out.
All right, let's see what happens.
Okay.
Well, I'm waiting here at the launch point, waiting for Tim to bring his kayak and meet me here. We only have one kayak carrier at this point. And there's a chart here that I'm looking at and remembering that our camp host said, be sure and stay in the wind shadow or you could get stuck on the other side of the lake and need to be rescued. And here comes Tim. As you can tell, we had a great time out on the water in our kayaks. We did keep an eye out for wind gusts, but we did not have any trouble. It was wonderful. The lake is closed to swimming because of toxic bloom, and this will give you an idea of what the water was like. Another thing we did was keep our eyes on the rocks on the hills, and we looked for pictographs. We did see some, and that was great. This is back near the campsite, some petroglyphs. These rock carvings were relocated here prior to blasting for construction of the Dalles Dam. They are free to view. There are descriptions, and there's also a guided tour that'll take you to see even more. I wanted to show you right here how close this is to the campground. You see in the background the road leading to the Petroglyphs, and as I turn the camera here you can see the back of our campsite.
Where are we, Tim?
Well, so here we are at Columbia Hills State Park, just on the Columbia River in eastern Washington, on the Washington side of the Columbia River. If you look across the other way on the Columbia River, you're looking at Oregon. Yep, and we're having a good time.
I just love this place. It's fun. It's a new adventure.
Tomorrow we're celebrating our 10th anniversary.
10 years!
Yahoo!
Wow, yes!
Join us as we take a walk around Columbia Hills State Park. We're enjoying the views of Horsethief Lake. And there are horseshoe pits in the park that our neighbors are enjoying, while Tim grills up a steak that we're going to split and have some corn on the cob. The beautiful sunset. So you can see a view of the Dalles Dam in the background as we cross the Columbia River to head into Dalles, Oregon. Our first stop will be the Columbia Gorge Discovery Center and Museum. So what are you looking at?
Reading about the dugout canoe
That is cool, isn't it? What's it say?
here. Rescued from the Columbia River near the Dalles during the flood of 1894.
Wow. When we entered the museum, they said, "Follow the river," and there would be a raptor exhibit. These are non-releasable, injured birds used to educate the public about native raptors and their habitats. The first exhibit they call Ice Age Geology, and then we move into native basketry. There's a large dip net there for fishing, and look at the scenery. It is phenomenal. We will be exploring some of the outdoor trails after we finish in the museum here. I'm looking forward to that.
Did put their wagons on rafts and took their chances on floating down the Columbia River. The plaque here says, "In memory of the soldiers and sailors of Klickitat County," where we are, "who gave their lives in defense of their country. This monument is erected in the hope that others inspired by the example of their valor and their heroism may share in that love of liberty and burn with that fire of patriotism which death alone can quench." So a memorial to 13 servicemen that lost their lives in World War I.
We're still at the Stonehenge area, and there's a memorial here built to remind generations to come of the price paid for the cause of liberty and freedom, dedicated to soldiers, Marines, and sailors, and goes from World War I, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and it has names of local people. There's a little box over here, and I think people put things in this, but I thought it was pretty interesting that there's actually money in there.
What's the name of this restaurant?
La Petite Provence in Dalles, Oregon.
Yeah. So we decided to come in here for lunch for our 10th anniversary. So I'm going to turn the camera around and you can put me on camera so it proves that I'm here with you.
And what do you have to say?
I say happy anniversary. I love you. You're a wonderful husband. Let's get some more years in.
And I love you too. The first 10 were just a warm-up.
We also visited the Maryhill Museum. This was to be the private residence of Sam Hill. However, he never moved into it. He ended up turning it into a museum of art and artifacts. Quite a variety there. Also in the neighborhood, the Maryhill Winery. Great views. The food is really good there. And we did a wine tasting. Happy anniversary. This viewpoint is the former site of Celilo Falls, historically the heart of fishing for local Native Americans. With the entrance of dams on the Columbia River, the falls disappeared. So our 4 days of exploring the Columbia River Gorge has come to an end, and we're about ready to head home. And this is the dump station at the Columbia Hills State Park. You can see in the background the Columbia River, a little divider, and there's Horsethief Lake in the forefront. We're heading off, and first thing we're going to do is cross a toll bridge to get onto the Oregon side. The highway on the Oregon side is a lot nicer than the Washington side. It's basically a 4-lane as opposed to the Washington 2-lane highway. We were wondering what the toll would be, and it was actually only $2.50 for our whole rig and trailer. So that was a deal. You're going to get a quick glimpse here of the Bonneville Dam as we continue on. The highway on the Oregon side is really scenic, and we really enjoyed the drive. Oh, there's the dome to the Capitol in Olympia, so we're getting closer to home. That's the end of this adventure.